video game industry is booming, and it's widely reported that it'll grow 30% by 2019. In 2015 alone, the industry had a global growth across all platforms that reached an all-time high of $61 billion. That's a growth of over 8% from 2014. By 2019, we should see the industry grow to an over $90 billion. While this sounds great for the video gamers, it should be noted that physical software sales have fallen 13% over just the course of 2015. Why should this matter? Well, allow me to explain. I'd like to start off by giving you a little background on myself. I've been an avid gamer since the early 80s, going back to the Atari 2600. And I've owned just about every big console since then. Growing up with video gaming both at home and at the arcades, I've seen the growth and the changes that have come along in the industry over the course of these years, spanning over 3 decades. Damn, I'm really dating myself here. Anyway, some of these changes have definitely been for the better. Along with these changes came a new era of video gaming that just seemed to hit overnight. With the advancements made with computers and internet connectivity, we've seen gaming go from playing with a friend next to us on a couch to playing with a stranger from somewhere in another time zone or even country. I can still remember it like it was yesterday, being one of the first people to beta test Xbox Live before it was launched back in 2002. I can still remember the great memories we all had back then, and marveling at the idea that the world was, well, a much smaller place than we had all thought, especially when being viewed through the scope of an M98 in Ghost Recon. This type of gameplay was a marvel in its own right. For the home console market, being able to play against real people instead of some bad AI was not only exciting, but it entered us into a new level of experience not seen before. However, not too long after the dust settled with this new connected service, given to us by what we thought was the gaming god himself, the devil reared its head. And like a dealer pushing his wares, gave us our first taste of this powerful new drug, labeled DLC, otherwise known as downloadable content. One of my first memories of DLC came with the Xbox 360 back in 2006. This would become one of the most infamous DLCs to ever hit any game or console. It came in the form of armor for Bethesda's Elder Scrolls series. The catch? Well, it was for your horse, did nothing but apply a skin, and set you back $2.50. Remarkably, this horse armor sold really well and was reported to be selling well through 2011. This is just one of many DLC packs that has plagued and has continued to plague our digital market. And there isn't any signs of it stopping or slowing down. Matter of fact, in 2015 alone, PlayStation and Xbox digital sales jumped over 30% from the previous year. Sadly, most, if not all of these games are the exact same price of the physical copy you can buy at the store. For me, this doesn't make any sense and should seriously not be tolerated by any of the gamers out there.
No! Fuck no!
Especially since the cost of producing a version on disc, its packaging, and distribution should cost several dollars more. Yet, there are those out there that find these digital downloads money well spent. All of this in the name of something that marketers love to try to convince consumers of. It's all in the name of convenience. I feel like I'm surrounded by impatient people on a daily basis, whether it's along my drive to work or my fellow gamer who doesn't have the patience to wait or is just too lazy to get up and go to the store and pick up the latest game. Instead, they sit at home waiting till midnight to download their digital copy. A digital copy that most likely was pre-ordered months ago, back before any real details emerged on this game at all. Hell, some have even paid for the season pass, as this is also becoming more and more prevalent with developers in the industry. It's big business. And of course these companies will do anything to maximize their profit, even if it compromises the integrity and the quality of whatever game they're pushing. Hopefully you're starting to see the underlying problem here. It's understood that we live in an always online world, and great things have come from this digital era. But for the gaming industry, these digital sales have become very troublesome. We used to have an industry of single-player games that didn't require you to have an always online connection or require you to sign into specific game servers just to play a game by yourself. This also is a continuing trend that is becoming more and more popular among game developers, and one that doesn't sit well with me at all. While ISPs are getting better all over the world, not all internet service providers are created equal, and even some of the best systems in place have their downtime. This creates a lot of frustration among gamers. Not being able to connect to a single-player experience because your internet is down, or because you may have brought your console or PC to Aunt Edna's house, who refuses to get connected because she believes runs the interweb. Even more insane than Aunt Edna is the fact that most gamers in this community just put up with this. With all these trends that have come along and all these advances we've seen in the gaming industry, we still are served up broken, unfinished, or even stripped of content games, of course, only to be sold later to you in the form of DLC. If you're still asking yourself, why is this all happening? If you haven't put two and two together already, well, you may just be part of the problem. Part of the community of gamers that is impatient, lazy, or just unwilling to take a wait-and-see approach before pre-ordering or buying a game day one without even so much as reading a single review. Yes, folks. Overall, it's the gamers that have continued to buy blindly, spend money on those DLC packs, or just continue to buy full games digitally. It's the gamers. It's us that is to blame for all of this. Admittedly, I was part of the problem, but I no longer pre-order or buy day one unless I've read reviews or played the beta, and I have since stopped buying games digitally. It just doesn't make sense to pay the same price for a game as it does for a physical copy. And I take no real issue with buying full expansion DLCs, but what I do take issue with are these smaller, these more microtransactions that are being sold to you. Very much like that horse armor I spoke about earlier. We are still getting sold items like skins, guns, whatever the case may be in any particular game, but those type of things we need to stay away from. I doubt that we'll ever get back to the days of having many AAA titles to choose from. Instead, if we continue down this path, we will continue to get horse armor, and we will continue to deserve these broken, unfinished, or stripped down games that are shoved our way by these developers. We, as gamers, must change.